All right then. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. It's happened. And Max is here with me as well. Hey, Max. Or is it Arran Gaming now? What do you prefer?
I don't know.
Gach. All you know is you need Gach. Hey, Klaus. Hey, Gerald. How you both doing? Cardassian pop dipping. That's microwave in Welsh. Anyhow. It literally means oven that goes bing. Isn't it magnificent? Anyway, right, yeah, we're here to code.
I'm just no, I can't. I'm done. I can't.
You're not a fan, huh?
I just can't anymore. Bobbity bing, really?
Poppy ping, yeah. Oven that goes ping.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're off to a very productive start already.
What's not to like about the Welsh language? I hear you say. Nothing. Right, so we're going to code today. Hopefully you all watched Bane's stream yesterday on Bane and Bros. He showed off a lot of the game. Hello, Draconian. He showed off a lot of the game.
Is he here now as well?
He is, yeah. Exactly what I was aiming for. The closest thing to a replicator. Indeed so.
Bobbity-bing.
Bobbity-bing.
That would be more like a microwave.
Oh, sorry. I absolutely had to have coffee now. Right.
So what's the refrigerator then? Closet brr.
Closet brr. Yeah, close enough. Right. Oh god, that's huge. Right. So one thing that I do need to do is I'm aware that you've done some updates, haven't you? So let's pull the latest version. Oh god, what's my username for GitLab?
Don't you have it set up so that it does it automatically?
No, I'm stupid.
Pleb.
Only takes me a moment.
Probably technophobias. Or semen.
Go, glad to see you've swapped to the world of OBS. Yes, actually, it is better than the other one, XSplit. Hey, Centurion, how you doing, my man? Hello there.
Where are you hearing all the? Where are you seeing all this chat? I'm not seeing all that in Twitch.
I'm on both Twitch and YouTube, so it might be worth you having a window open for the YouTube as well.
Okay,
sorry, man.
Hard to find.
Sorry, man. You can. There's a little cog on both of them. You can get a pop-out chat if you've got a second screen and just shove them on there.
I do not.
Hey, Commander Mike, how you going? I'm good, class. I'm good. Twitch tube. Yeah, that's what I'm on. God, that's huge. Gel hears this all the time. No, he doesn't.
YouTube has a bit of a stream.
It does. YouTube's got more of a delay than Twitch, I find. There is a super duper fast YouTube variant, but it always goes mental for me.
Doesn't it cost more money?
I don't think so, no.
Yay! The render is done.
Toa Light Makuta. I like that name. I like that name a lot.
Relate to.
Right, it looks like I'm going to be waiting for about 46 years for AOTF to pull. So
it's what you get when you're not, on top of it all.
Not bad. So what we're going to be doing today is we need to put some planetary research in order to ensure that planets can be colonized. That tends to be helpful, doesn't it?
Oh, Chris, it was worth it.
Was it? Am I allowed to show off your screen?
Yeah.
Right, I've got Max in a call on Discord, and because we can do video calls now, what I should be able to do is if I pull this over here, you guys should be able to see it, and we'll make it big, as they say. That's what Max is working on right now.
Look, little glowy lights that actually spread around it.
So what you've done here is you've done what's called an AO bake, is that right?
Well, an ambient occlusion bake was just redone with a bit of higher fidelity. And I've done a light map bake, which does stuff like this, where the lights actually, get the emitted light gets baked into the texture, and on the cells it really is noticeable.
That's really good. I'm liking it. So what ship is this, Max?
It's Undying Nephilim's Klingon D5.
Klingon D5, very nice.
Klingon cruiser.
I think there are a couple of variants of this, aren't there?
Yeah, just one, the tanker.
The tanker variant, yeah. And I really like the tanker variant. Actually, in some ways, I like the tanker variant more than I like this variant.
I know when it comes to firepower.
Hey, Khan, how you doing, my man? Did you have to alter your upload speed to get restream working correctly? No, I didn't. No, it seemed to work fine. A Dong 5 battlecruiser, says Jarrell.
Yes,
and
we did put
Centurion
Dong on
says
it.
shiny. Right, so... Oh. It's going a little bit pixelated. Oh, hello. No, that's me! It's going a little bit pixelated because I'm also downloading the update. Let's just see how that's doing. Alright, we're receiving objects at the moment, so we'll carry on watching Max for a moment. So tell us what you're doing here.
Well, I don't know how far ahead you're seeing right now, but what I'm doing right now is I'm applying the new textures to the game model, and I actually should be able to test them after I press save right now, which
Fingers
is right
crossed.
now.
Commander
If
Mike
we
says he
take-
always loved the D5.
We take these two new updated textures and put them in the right place. Which means, yes, you'll have to pull again.
See what I have to work with, guys. You
Since
see
the
what I
Solar
have to work
Empire
with.
Rebellion update queued.
Oh,
Hold
no.
up. Hold up! That was a 20 meg update.
Oh, piss.
No, probably just a DirectX redistributable.
That's fine. We can cope with that just about,
let's
can't we?
hope. Yeah, running the dev executable. All
Can we call out any mistakes that Max makes? Of course you can, Jarrell. He'll complain bitterly.
What mistakes? One? Which one?
Professor Osbin, welcome to the stream. He says, nice ship.
Thank you. Yes, I can see. I tab back and forth. It's very I was just loading the game now, so we should be able to have a look-see on how it looks in game right now.
Excuse any pixelation that you're seeing, guys. I'm watching Max's screen while you're watching my screen, so there's always going to be a little bit of artifacting as a result of that. I'm also downloading as well the latest update to AOTF, which, of course, there's going to be another one in about 3 minutes' time. Thanks for that, Max.
Yeah, it's only what about 4 mega update.
Oh, that's not too bad then. Just a single texture change then.
Two textures.
Two textures.
Diffuse and the DA, the double map's fine.
General Sala says, which collie will be used? The original Phase 2 DCS or the one that you see at the end of Enterprise?
The only original proper one. And General Sanis, you know this, you've seen this. Stop pretending.
Oh dear, legitimate, not safe for work question. Will there be a First Federation Thessarius class ship in the mod as a random event?
Not in Ages of the Federation, the 4 Years' War. However, in the Cold War, maybe. The downside of that ship, though, it would be very poly-intensive and very hard to pull off in game
I
to look
expect so.
decent.
Are we allowed to show off one of the pictures that went up earlier within our internal Discord, showing some of the stuff that's already been worked on for the Cold War?
Let's hold that off.
Should we hold that off? Okay.
Right, so look in game. Look, we've got a really nice, pretty. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty?
You made that ages ago, didn't you?
I made that back for the Axonar.
This was intended for the Axonar mod, and of course we never got to use it. It is a well, I suppose it's a neutron star and a black hole.
Just a regular star and a black hole.
That's how they sound. I've checked.
Yes, that's the sound we've added. So let's spawn the D5 cruiser, which would be M.
My apologies.
Oh well, I didn't mean to spawn this.
Well, that's a Federation one.
Let's get rid of that.
I didn't get rid of it. It just spawned another one.
Get rid of that as well.
No. There she goes. Okay.
Back to normal speed.
Will the Axonar be in here, says Class. Well, we've got a lot of Axonar-inspired ships.
What do you mean with the Axonar? If you mean the species, they are on a list. Cruiser would be L.
Draconian says, love the graphics.
voiceovers are amazing.
Oh, we need to get to work on those. In fact, I think you asked me to do something about that, didn't you?
Oh, look at that.
Ah, it's good. I like it.
Let's just pause that so you can have a good look at it. Look, the light map's baked in there and at the bottom here as well.
Good stuff.
And right there, look, you can really tell from the top of the cell there. Looks a lot more realistic. What I might do is I'm going to just slightly tweak it. I'm going to paste that over there. I'm going to take the bake and I'm going to lay it over it again.
This is why we never get any work done, guys, because Max is fiddling.
Save that.
Well, the Ares, yes, the Ares is already in the mod.
The Ares is already in the mod. However, it will be getting a graphical passover really soon.
Yeah, I think several of our ships need to. We initially started with very, I suppose you'd call it dull gunmetal grey ships because of the wartime theme of this.
Well, not even for that reason. It was literally like how
it was in Axanar, I suppose. Yeah.
There we go. That's a bit better as well.
Good stuff.
Slightly more intense now.
Yeah, nice. And we've since decided that we'd like to have our own visual flair on it, or more so Max decided that. So he's put the visual kind of piping, little emblems and what have you on the Federation ships, and they look a lot better than they did now, in my opinion anyway.
They look a lot more Starfleet. I decided to do some Discovery designs and primified.
Okay, Commander Mike. Well, thank you so much for joining us anyway. I hope you enjoy what you see later on. And if you do like what you see, make sure you give the video a like and stick a comment on if you've got any questions. We'll try and answer them.
And subscribe to the ModDB page as well.
Oh yeah, make sure you go on the ModDB page. And we've also got a Facebook page, which is in the process of being updated as well. Which is, I think, /Stellar Parallax Productions. Facebook.
If you just search for Star Trek Armada 3 mod on Facebook,
you'll also find it that way. You certainly will.
But yeah, right, it's little details like this.
Oop.
Little lighting details.
They do make a difference. A big one. Also, Maxwell talking to me earlier sent me this. What the heck is that?
Is that the...
What is it? It looks like... It looks like the Nemesis project from Resident Evil. It really does. Good God. And look at the size of its knackers. Anyway.
It can impregnate a small town.
Right. Actually, Max, says Sanis, you haven't shown me the Connie yet.
Well, Sanis, if you paid attention to last night's stream... There you go.
There it is.
Come on, Bassard, spawn.
Boop.
There we go.
Boop. There's the Connie. Viking says, and there goes the monetization for this video. Doesn't matter. We modding. We don't need money for modding.
A lot of little details when we're done right on this thing.
Oh, Sanis
if I don't, I know you'll all be biting my head off.
There you go. Sanis wasn't about yesterday, that's why.
Ah, such a shame. Still, I haven't done a light map bake Connie.
Ooh.
I mean, it would kind of be untrue to the original, but I think it would look better, you know, with a little glow of the,
I think we're allowed a little bit of artistic liberty, given the lack of detail that was on the original Connie. I think it's only fair that we spruce it just a smidge.
If I were to do it completely canon, I would not have windows on one side. Shit.
I think also there's a you haven't done your flashy lights quite yet, have you, on the Connie?
Nope, but I haven't on the Klingons either.
Yeah. So there's a couple of bits and bobs that we are still yet to do on that Connie. Right, do you want to push your changes, and then we'll get going with the old
Codaruni.
With the old Codaruni, yeah. Mind you, I'm still downloading the changes. Good God, how long's it been since I pulled this? Will there be Vulcan ships, says Gerald. The Dakir is always around. Yeah, we've got the Dakir, the
Serac.
the Surak. There's a Tellarite vessel. There is also
Dorian Kamari.
the Endorian Kamari.
Yeah, these were all shown off last night.
Oh, Draconian, that sounds nice. I've got something called Carnival. It was dirt cheap, so I'll probably die. Oh, hang on. There we go. Centurion says he loves the Connie.
Thank you.
Right, yeah, I'm still downloading the changes. It's bloody hell.
Well, there were a lot of them.
Yeah, I should have done this about an hour ago, but I was too busy playing DayZ. Sorry, guys.
Hi, Torment. Wait, so I figured.
Also, because I've not been very well, I haven't really spent a lot of time preparing, have I? I had a migraine for about 3 days, which has only abated over the past, like, 3 hours. So, hey, Termit, how you doing?
Ooh, I can't do a light map make on all the Klingon models.
Why?
Certain ways they were UV'd make it impossible.
Do it anyway!
It wouldn't look right.
Salis says, God damn it, girl. Why? What have I done?
Great. I love it.
I love that Vulcan ship from Carbon Creek. Which one's that?
That's not in. It's a tiny, it's a tiny little shuttle. Let me just look it up. Chris, if you would navigate to my screen, then
Yeah, not a problem. Bloop.
should be able to find it. This is the survey ship from Carbon Creek.
Oh, God, that was the one where they got stuck on Earth.
Crashed.
Yeah. Good episode, that. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, but no, we won't be having that.
I do
However,
like it, though.
we will be having this.
In fact, we've already got that.
Actually, it's more along the lines actually of the Charan, but when it comes to the detail.
Hmm.
And we also have this, but in a better state.
I think there was a picture of it on the right-hand side.
I know, but I just like showing off the broken.
Okay, Khan. I'll see you a little bit later, my man. I'm okay at the minute. I've taken a load of painkillers, so I feel pretty okay.
He's drunk off his head.
I'm absolutely smashed, guys. The 1950s survey ship, says Joel. You are correct. Yeah, well done. You know more. You already know more about the mod than me. Not the mod, but Star Trek. Professor Osbin is talking about the goat thing. He says, I wouldn't say nemesis. It looks like a mixture of a licker with a goat body. So maybe a demonic goat. Okay.
That's probably something out of Goat Simulator then.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're okay, Turnip.
How's that pull of yours going?
Slowly. Let's take a look. Oh, we're nearly done.
How gold?
No gold. I also, like Gull, haven't pulled in a while. Yeah, it's the way of it.
A healthy pulling once a day
Oh, here it is.
keeps many girls away.
Alright, that was successfully pulled. Do I need to do... Oh, not responding. Do I need... Don't touch anything.
You need to pull again now.
Oh, no. It's probably why it's not responding. Alright, Git, stop being a Git. We'll close it.
Oh, look, it's a Viking. These people see all these ships that I've been secretly...
Yeah, look at all these
No,
things.
no, no.
Look at all those things! Oh, it's gone. Hey, look, you're watching the stream. Right, let's
just keep an eye on the
minimise
chat.
that. And you've uploaded now?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's already been uploaded.
Stuff.
That list when you pulled. Oh my god.
I know.
Star Trek Cockring Nacelle. Well,
I don't know. I don't know. Right, D5 baked light map and updated AO. One thing that you can do is you can show log, which gives you a full log of all the changes made. As you can see, there have been one or two. There's been a few mergers as well. Ah, it's Hobbs. What's yeah thing?
Yes.
Max. Right.
Can you show the log again? Because I'm still lagging behind on that.
Oh. Right at the bottom. Right, the first ever commit that you ever made was just, yeah, thing.
I think I was like, oh yeah, just to test it.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh yeah, this was like, oh, let's just make it a secret because nobody wanted to see what, because we were keeping it a secret.
Right, so, anyway, let's get out of that, yeah.
Gonna grab a drink, just a second.
Alright, my man. Is this the thrilling sins I've heard so much about? Yes, Nibs, it is. Chris's car must have my other ship as a galore sticker. I'd like that. I would like that. Stop downloading all the goat stuff. I'm sorry, I can't help it. People keep sending me the goat stuff.
That's my fault. Because
Right.
I saw that and somebody tagged me with it saying, "What the hell is this?" And when I saw it, I sent it to Chris saying, "What the hell is this?"
And now I'm asking you, what the hell was that?
And can it or can it not impregnate a small village?
Right, so here we have our current planetary system. It's a lot simpler than TFF, the Final Frontier, and I'd probably go out on a limb and say, at present, in its current way, it's marginally simpler than CTA. Would you agree?
It's slightly simpler, not by a huge amount.
So we've got.
It's quite similar to A3, but it's not as much done in tiers as it is based on the environment at this point.
So
that makes sense.
So these are the environmentals that you can have. We can see we've got different tiers: basic, harsh, barren, extreme, and adaptable, and space-based. So we've got 6 different tiers there in total. There's non-colonizable as well. Oh, there's fragile as well. There's too many tiers. I can't cope with this.
Yeah, fragile is an offshoot on space-based.
Okay,
it's for high for rich asteroids, where the ores make the asteroid structure a bit stable.
Well, as Class M Type 1, we don't need any research for that. It's basic. So no research needs to be done for that. The others, we need research for all of them, aside from the uncolonizable ones, which are gas giants and Venus types. And are we not allowing people to colonize volcanic planets?
No, it really doesn't make a lot of sense to, especially if it's like a non-breathable atmosphere.
Ooh. Some interesting stuff down here as well. Look at that. There's a sphere. What's a sphere? Anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to be a cheeky sausage, and we are going to steal some research from Star Trek Armada 3.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Why not?
Because it's going to throw up a whole load of errors from the icons. You might just want to take the stock one.
I don't have an uncompressed stock entity file.
Well, luckily for you, it's still in the game info folder.
Is it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Alright then. It'll be under research subject.
AOTF,
Oh, it's in the AOTF one?
Yeah.
My, how useful this is.
I've copied the entire stock repository.
Ah, fantastic. I can't remember what the unlocks are called. I know they're a research subject. I've got that.
Let me help you there. Search subject.
I think it would be
access. No.
Nah, it's not that.
I'm guessing it's planet access.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Planet access _, and then.
Yep, I've got it. All right, so we've got planet access, greenhouse.
Let's
grab one of these.
Planet for a planet.
Let's copy this and we'll paste it into our main segment. In fact, let's make a new folder.
Call it Chris finally does something.
Hey, I've got commits in there. Alright, let's pop that into the folder. We'll shut this one down. Yeah, I've got several commits in there. Right, so research subject, planet access, grr, which will be greenhouse.
During all death. Yes,
Katharina asks,
planet.
hello, did you guys secretly buff the scimitar? I was able to do with the scimitar around 700 damage with the main gun in combination with Donatra. No, I don't believe we have. I don't think there's been any real changes to the scimitar itself.
Katarina. But as in Twitch, as Dreth asked, Class F planet, is that a planet made out of a Class F shuttlecraft? Yes. Oh, by the way, Christopher, you please use the naming convention that we've set up for AOTF.
Yeah, we've got a fantastic naming convention which I haven't looked at.
It's basically, instead of F, we use Fed.
Fed, okay. Right, we'll do the Fed ones first.
Res.
So, you want something like Fed, Res... Whoops.
Planet unlock underscore type.
Okay, so the first one that we're going to want to do... In fact, we'll just leave that as it is, as a basic one. So we'll go copy and we'll paste it. Because we're going to want several of those, and it just makes my life a bit easier. The first one that we're going to want, according to our list, is the harsh environment. So, do you have these tiered in the way that you want them to be? Which one's unlocked first, which one unlocks last?
Well, if you, let me just navigate to the thing myself because there's a stream delay. I'm thinking basic and space-based should be the earliest to unlock, possibly in like the first tier.
I thought basic wasn't an unlock one.
Sorry, yeah, basic is it's already unlocked. But of course, you want to have improvements, you know. So
you think space-based is the way forward to go with first?
Yeah, I'd say maybe space-based and harsh in the first tier,
okay.
In the first research slot, and then we can put in barren and extreme later on. And we can put fragile somewhere in between.
All right, that works for me.
Adaptable could possibly go before. Adaptable could probably be an offshoot from space-based, something like domes, something space domes.
So we're going to go with space-based first as our planetary unlock. Now, space-based, it's probably best if we use what type of planet do we want? I suppose asteroid.
Asteroid. If we scroll, yeah, asteroid would work.
So let's open it up and take a look at the code itself. So here is the here's the code, nice and easy. Now we want this nice and early on, and in order to get this nice and early on, this is where we want to be, the research window location. Now block, it starts at 0 and goes to 1 and 2. In fact, I should probably open the game up so people can see what I'm talking about, shouldn't I?
Don't have to.
That's true. Right, let's open dev mode up.
Gul Gaming is now playing Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion.
That is not the mod I wanted it to be.
Shame. Shame. Right, in the meantime, I'll be working on a model. Because I still have Fed models to improve. No, not the Star Wars model folder, not Stellaris, no, not Stellaris. Axonar folder, there we go. And we Korolev game. Continue.
A board capital ship won't one-shot any of your capital ships. However, yeah, so that's Nemesis there. There are various other things that will one-shot your capital ships. Okay, so let's right-click this, go to rename, Control-C, go back into enabled mods.txt, highlight this, Control-V, Control-S, and we've done it. Great. And I'll tell you what, just briefly, let's close all but this. And boop. Right, now.
I can see on Twitch, you can see it starting up Nem.
What happens to the cup when I drink from it? Oh, it disappears, look. Well, that's interesting.
What?
Now, because I've got the green screen thing on, there's parts of this cup that don't want to exist.
Oh.
Look at that!
I'm still waiting for it. I mean, remember, I've got the stream delay, so...
Yeah, if you go on Twitch, there's less of a delay.
I'm on Twitch, so...
Right.
On Twitch currently you're vaping.
I do a lot of things. Right, so here we are in the game. If we go to single player, yeah, random tiny is fine. And do you know what?
I can see the cup. Oh my god, that's weird.
It's mental, isn't it?
Central Perk. That's from Friends. It's a coffee place where they sit in Friends.
It's going to start. We've got 2 lots of music going on. Termit says, are you starting work on your World of Warcraft models, Max?
What? I don't do any sort of...
I don't do none of that.
Termit wants a spanking. Whether he enjoys it or not, I hope he does.
Yeah, anyway, getting back to Nemesis. The only thing that should be able to one-shot your capitals easily, at least, on the Borg side, would probably be the Dildo of Doom. That, I would expect, is able. Because it's got the Reaper Beam, hasn't it? Sadist says, God, I want to be playing this mod. As broken as it may currently be. I wouldn't say it's broken, it's just not done yet. We've barely done anything with it.
Indeed, Aroni.
I've just realised this music that's going on in the background. That's a copyright paddling.
Might not be. Things like that might not be in their list because they're so obscure.
Oh, I think it probably is.
Music.
Draconia says, I like that image. It's an image that Killer BC or Connor made.
Indeed, Aroni, indeed.
Oh god. I pressed a button. I should never have pressed a button.
Why would you press a button?
I know.
Silly man.
It'll turn up in a minute. Right, here we go. Okay, so looking into the research window at the moment, you can see there are a few things already in there. These are unlocks for the Federation ships: Neptune, NX, Poseidon, Marklin, Magellan, Deimos, Kobayashi, Pacific, Ares, Asia, and
we need to rename that, by the way.
Which one? The Pacific.
Yeah. Now that.
Oh, it's the Cardans now, isn't it?
Cardenas, yeah.
I'll probably do that today. Otherwise, I'll forget. In fact, I'll do it right now.
See, and now here's the thing, why I asked you to use the naming convention when we started, because then it would have been called Research Unlock Cruiser, but now the actual file is called Research Unlock Typhoon, I think, still at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the cruiser has been through some iterations, but this is the final one. I don't forgive you, Chris. I'm very angry with you.
What's it called?
You made the research.
The Typhoon, you say? Okay, so do you know what? Let's just change its name while we're at it. We'll have to exit the game though. So is it the heavy cruiser?
Yes.
All right, it's now called Heavy Cruiser. Are you happy?
Well, it's technically just labeled as Cruiser, but.
This is where I just make the mistake here. It's going to go terribly.
Listening to me.
Also true. Okay, so we've changed the bits that need to be changed in here. Let's go save. Now, there are various other bits that we need to change in order to make sure that this now works. Let's just rename it. Control-C to copy. Come out of it.
Copy.
We now need to go to the entity manifest, which is right here. And we need to find the research, which is probably down here somewhere.
I mean, while you're at it, you might as well do the...
No, it'll take too long. Let's go. Let's find Typhoon. There it is. So let's replace that with the correct one. Control S to save. Right, the entity manifest has now been corrected, but there's one more thing that we need to do, which is back in game info. If we go to P for player, I'm going to have to be careful about this, aren't I? Player.
Pleb file.
Player UFP, I presume. There we go.
Yes.
Now, within the player file, you've got various things. Here are the ships that you can have, the stations that you can have. There are various different sound effects that you can change within it. But what we're looking for is the research info. There are 52 pieces of research in there right now. Now we need to find the Typhoon one and change it. There it is, right near the bottom. So we just simply replace it with Heavy Cruiser, Control S to save, and we're done. The research will now work, but there's still one thing that we're missing. So,
but wait, there's more.
There is always more when you're changing things like this. If we go to the string folder, now the string is what denotes practically everything with regards to the words that you're going to see on screen. Now we need to look up Typhoon again in here. Oop. No, that's not it. Apparently there's a galaxy called Typhoon. How nice.
What?
Here it is. Yeah, there's a galaxy folder called Typhoon in there. Right, fed Typhoon name. Now we changed this to Heavy Cruiser, didn't we?
No, I don't know if you changed the string on the research as well.
Yes, I did. Look. Yeah.
Then yes. You can say look, but it's gonna have to take a minute before I.
That's true. Oh, Heasy Cruiser. Okay, so we've changed that to the Heavy Cruiser class. And this is now the Cardenas. Cardenas?
Yes! I don't know. Really don't know.
Cardenas. Yeah, I think that's going to have to do. Then we'll save this. And once, do you know what? Let's just drag this shortcut over here because it's going to make my life quick. Right, now that we've done all that, we could open this up. Nice background, thank you very much. Hey, Boo, by the way. Sorry I didn't say hello earlier. I was too busy concentrating for a change. The Connie is indeed the Titan. Although I don't think we're really going to call them Titans. Oh, God, I broke it.
String not found. What area are you getting?
Just a straight up crash.
Then it's a entity manifesti mistakey.
I don't believe that for a moment.
You really don't?
No.
You're gonna stick with that?
Yep.
You sure?
Fed res mills ship heavy cruiser dot entity. That's all correct.
How about the ship file?
Ship itself. That's correct.
Because the ship might be calling on the old research.
No. Oh, is there anything after it?
What?
You've got a very good point there.
Oh, yes, the research that links it and the research that it's adjacent to.
Yeah. So
Boy.
the research that's after it is going to be the issue there. Do you remember what ship it was? I think it was the Asia, wasn't it?
One of the last ones.
No, that requires the Ares. So let's look for the Ares. That requires the Geronimo. No. Constitution shouldn't call on it, I don't think. No, that requires the Asia. We're going to have to go through them all. Geronimo? Korolev.
Working on the Korolev right now.
Kobayashi. Deimos.
Stelios.
Stelios Gantos.
Gantos.
If only I knew. Let's take a look at
Stelios Contos.
Columbia. What about the Yorktown? Dever. Phobos? No, Phobos is really early on, isn't it? Yeah, frankly. It's not going to be the NX, is it?
But anchor.
Colombia?
It's gonna be Stelios Kantos.
Asia. What about the Daedalus? No. Oh, I've buggered it!
I'm backing up.
Okay, so the Kobayashi comes before it.
The Kobayashi.
That requires the... I feel like it might be the Korolev. No, that requires the Kelvin.
Maybe I could go check real quick. Set up the game.
Do you know what? I've actually got a better idea. What I can do is I can go to Control F, go find in Files. I don't want to replace it with anything. Typhoon. And the file that I want it to find it in is boop ATF and game info. Go OK.
Everything on my computer.
Then go find all. Oh, it's probably the crossfield, isn't it?
Maybe.
Okay, it looks like it's... Ah, I see what's happening.
Hmm?
Apparently all the neutral things are calling on the Typhoon.
Oh, the neutral race is because the file is based off of the Fed file.
Also, there is Fed Cruiser _ Cruiser calls on Fed Millship Typhoon. So,
yes, Fed Cruiser _ Cruiser is that research, is that ship, which requires the unlock. That's what I meant with, did you look at the ship?
No.
Boy.
Hey, look, there it is.
Yeah, boy.
Right, okay, let's save that one. And we've got other ones that we need to look at, so let's get this one fixed as well. Heavy Cruiser, that one's fixed. You can do a find and replace, but I don't trust it, so I tend to do this myself.
Yeah, let's not do that. Things that are inherently a bad idea with sins.
Yeah. Heavy Cruiser.
Kuda.
What you said.
Oh boy, I'm going to have to do some really unique changes on this model. Right, let's first import.
It's going to be so unique. Right, let's see if that's fixed it. Hey, Cryptic, how you doing, my man? Oh, I'm sorry.
Cryptic? Which Cryptic?
Cryptic Streams, he's called.
Where do I know the name Cryptic from?
Yay, I fixed it.
Did you know?
Is that a Last of Us background? Yes, it is. It's one of my favourite games to come out in the last 10 years. Poop, let's press play. None of this is finalised, by the way. I think, am I correct in thinking that Hobbs is once again working on some of our menus?
Yes, I think so. Oh, 100% sure.
Oh, look at that. Yorktown, baby.
Yorktown, baby.
The Pop-de-Ping class starship. I'll see if I can I'll see if I can hide Pop-de-Ping somewhere in the strings.
Play a tip. Pop-de-Ping.
Use the Pop-de-Ping for faster meals.
We're horrible people.
I'm sorry that you're not happy. I think I said during Bane's stream yesterday that I would do this today.
And he's actually doing it, people. I'm just as surprised as you are.
Not happy with you. Yeah, at some point I may get a PS4, and I might go through The Last of Us again, the remastered edition, for YouTube. We'll see. I mean, it's an old game now. A lot of people have done it to death, but I loved it. I absolutely adored that game. Well, Overseer, I do feel a bit better. Still taking a lot of painkillers. I slept for most of the day today. I hadn't been able to sleep for about 2 days because of the migraine. But it does seem to be better now. Let's see. It was around here somewhere, wasn't it? Garden us! There we go. You happy now, Max?
I'm not looking at the stream at the moment, but
How
yes.
dare you!
Because I am working on getting...
We need to delete planet elevators.
Yes, we do.
Or at least get a null file for them. Planet elevators are stupid and I don't like them.
They do more damage than they do good.
I want Gul to play as Kazon versus Jingles as the Patlants. What? As in the Mighty Jingles. I'd love to play some games with him. He's a likeable fellow. Will you ever fill in the Galaxy X? Says Katarina. Max, take it away.
Let me climb up.
No!
Sorry about that.
It's quite alright. I'm
I
just
hope
waiting.
that answers your question.
No, yeah, we don't intend to have the Galaxy X. In there.
Ever.
Is the simplistic variant of that.
The Galaxy X is fake news.
Fake and gay. Right.
Excuse me, mate. Do you have a license to make those sort of comments?
Vorik says, so that's a no? This is your starting world. I think Bane showed it off a little bit yesterday, but
Yeah, we
as you
talked
can
about
see,
it.
it's just a small outpost on a moon. And there it is. I think you took a lot of inspiration there from some of the Star Wars worlds, if I'm right.
Actually, from the moon station from Enterprise.
Oh, really? Because it looks like the
know,
Metropolis
but-
worlds you get in Star Wars. This is a Star Wars mod confirmed. Right, so getting back to the research that we were supposed to be doing.
Well, if you want to take a few seconds break from that, you could show off what I'm doing.
I don't mind at all. Let's just
See
take a
what
quick look.
what I'm doing is I'm updating the models by cutting some more detail into the ships. Now, originally, see these phases are flat. One of the things I just added was the slot at the front. Is I modeled that in, and I'm going to model in the side here the detail on the saucer rim, some of the greebly bits here,
Okay.
the cargo doors here, and the phases. Now, see, I've already replaced the engineering hole and the nacelles with the new version. Now, they
Good
don't have the
stuff.
right ambient occlusion bake yet because they're not rendered yet. But what's going to happen is I'm going to render the light map, and it's going to cast off against that engineering hole. So there's going to be a big blue glow around that engineering hole, and the reflector is going to bounce off the saucer, so it's going to look really good in the nacelle
Good
as
stuff.
well.
And what ship was this?
It's the Korolev.
Korolev. There we go.
Korolev.
Oh.
I'm going to put a banging donk on it.
God. Put a donk in it. So, we'll watch this for a couple of minutes because I think in some ways modelling is more interesting than coding.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know, I think code has a lovely effect, but it's not necessarily very exciting to do. Whereas I think because modelling has an immediate visual effect, it's quite exciting to people. People really like that. They like seeing the fruits of the labour immediately. Whereas naturally, if you're coding, you don't necessarily see the fruits of that labour for quite some time. I presume what you're doing now is you're cutting the little blobbly blobs up.
Yep. No, they're not going to be perfectly circular, but trying to line it up as.
I think, given how closely you can zoom in, that isn't going to cause too much of a problem, is it?
Nope, but the people that are watching now will know. What we're first going to do is just connect these up so the triangulation does all right when it comes to that.
It looks most confusing. Most confusing.
So the technical term for this part of the starship is the nipple.
Ah, yes, the old nipple.
This
Executor
cannot-
random event confirmed, says Overseer. Cryptic Stream says, with the cutouts and the thing with the other thing that does the thing where they use the things. Yeah, that's about right.
You're forgetting about the fact that when you take the thing and bend it around the other thing, and you get the weird thing.
Ah, the wibbly wobbly. Hey, something looks wrong in that corner. Ah, you fixed it. All right, I'll shut up.
Notice that myself as well.
Modelling all the dents of my starship driving fails. Don't do that. I will never forget immersion ruined for the glob things. Gul's brain died right there. No, it didn't.
You see, when a starship is cold.
Indeed.
The
Isalkin says the heresy. I smell his Gul without his scarf. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do like to wear my scarf, but it's not quite as cold today. That or I'm on so many drugs that I don't know. Medical drugs, by the way, before anybody gets concerned.
Well, you just told me. You made some very interesting brownies, you told me.
Oh, God, I wish. I mean, I don't wish that at all.
We're very PG here.
Salis, those aren't ideal grades. If there's anything I can do to help you, I apparently speak English, so that might help. My maths is middling at best. I know a very limited amount of French, putain being my primary word, and 0 German, so I don't think I'm going to be much use to you. Oh, pointy. Very pointy.
Damn it.
You're not happy with it?
No.
What seems to be the problem, officer?
Well, what seems to be the officer problem is the more appropriate question.
So, talk us through what you're doing here.
Well, I wanted to make it slightly less steep, the initial thing. So this just fixed that. So the initial curve is a bit smoother. See?
Okay, so you're trying to get it as round as possible while using as few polys as possible.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
That's better.
It is.
Oh.
Now, how many of these do you actually need to do?
Well, there's these on the top, and then there's 2 at the bottom, and then there's the little hatches. But this side, that's a bit more challenging.
Oh my. Right, I better get some coding done while you're doing with that. Can we come back to it in about 5 or 10 minutes and see how you're going?
Yes.
Alright, good stuff. Boop. Oh no. Come out of full screen.
Oh no. Oh no.
Minimize. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Right, so here's our planet unlock space-based. So we wanted to work out where we wanted it. Now this is going to be a very early unlock for your space-based things. They're going to be things like asteroids and other worlds of a similar variety that would be very easy to just plop a dome down on. I think that's fair to say. Yeah? Oh, Max is Max is so engrossed that he's not going to respond anymore. Huh? What?
I'm sorry. I was just I was just reading the comments on the stream, seeing if there were any questions.
Okay. If there are any questions, bring my attention to it. I can never concentrate on two things at once.
Bring them to his attention.
So, what do you think? We're going to put it in block 0, which places it at the top. Oh, that's why I had the game open, so I could show people the research screen. I remember now. Before we broke the game.
We broke nothing.
Hey, Stefan, how you doing? France and Germany will fall to the glory of Cardassia. Good stuff. Your biology and physics is good, and your English, history, and chemistry are amazing. Well, honestly, that's really good. Unless you're planning on kind of moving to France or Germany, I wouldn't be too concerned. Yeah, if you can get those grades up, I would absolutely encourage you to do so. But worry about the really important ones. Maths is very important, so I would really work hard on trying to get that.
Also, don't go to France. It's full of Frenchmen.
I adore the French myself.
It's only because you tried conquering them a couple of times.
Yeah. They were asking for it.
That's definitely true. Remember, ha-ha means ha-ha.
Ain't that the truth? Max, when are you announcing the 4th race in AOTF? No!
Normie, get out! Really?
Okay, Termit. I'll see you later, my man.
Alright, Termit, pleasure talking to you or listening to you. And this is Dr. Fraser Crane. I'm listening. Right, quick trivia question for those paying attention.
Okay.
Dr. Fraser Crane appeared in Star Trek as which character?
There you go. The actor that played Fraser Crane. He appeared in Star Trek. Do you want to help them a little bit out by telling them which series?
No.
Okay.
I've got Google.
Stefan QQ says, "Oh my god, orgasm." That's nice. I'm pleased that you have orgasmed. Right, so we're going to look at the research screen.
Want me to get you a towel?
We need to go to the civilian research screen. We've already got several blobbles in there. Do you know what? I've already done them.
What? No.
I bloody did them, look. Barren environment colonization, adaptable environment colonization, extreme environment colonization.
You're kidding me, right?
I am not kidding you. I did them, and you told me I hadn't. How dare you?
Well, it's very basic. I mean, we could do it with a bit more.
But what more do you want?
We don't have space-based for one.
I think I lumped space-based in with harsh. Harsh, barren, adaptable, and extreme is what I've got.
We'll get space-based in there.
Why not? Let's see what kind of naming convention I've used.
Yes, let's have a look, shall we?
Shit. Ah, here we go. Planet unlock, adaptable, planet unlock, barren, How did you not see these?
Considering I've only been testing models. And by the way, Giral there's the Mirth. He was correct. Captain Morgan Bateson of the USS Bozeman, NCC 1941 Soyuz class.
Oh, Soyuz, nice.
Which was at the Battle of Sector 001 during first contact. You hear the radio lady that later dies or dude that dies says like, "Defiant and Bozeman, pull back to mobile position 1, acknowledged." However, I don't think that they hired Kelsey Grammer for such a short quib.
No, indeed not. Right, so let's copy this one. Since we've already got it, we'll put it in AOTF research, paste. We'll delete this one. And we're going to rename this to space-based. Can't believe I did all this work and you claimed that I didn't.
I can't believe you've done this.
I can't, no, not me. Let's close all but this. In fact,
I can't believe you've actually already done it. I can't believe
that. Well, here we are. This is space-based. Now, when it comes to block, research window location block. So what that is... Oh, shit, that's the wrong button. Block is... It starts at 0, goes to 1 and 2. So the very top one is always 0. Top left is, in fact, always 0 as well. So if we go back to this, you can see it's position 1 and then position 2. That's an X and Y position. So position 1 means it is 1 block from the start. So it's here. And it's 0, 1, 2 from the top. So top left, and then you work that way and that way. So right and down. And that's how you work out where things are. So if we were to move this to block 2, it would go in here in a similar position. But what we want to do is we want to get something in the very first rung of research. So we need to change the X position to 0. There we go. Now, because I've higgledy-piggledy these a little bit, I think we're going to put this in position 1Y. So let's just save that very quickly.
Y indeed.
So that's going to go there. So 1 block above this and 1 block to the left. Right about there.
Funk soul brother.
That seems nice. Now, the linked planets type is going to be asteroid, I believe. We agreed on, didn't we?
Jawohl.
Jawohl. Now, we need it to be relatively cheap. We haven't really done any balancing of costs, but I think we should probably start doing that now.
Yeah, might as well. Not too expensive.
So I think 300, 50 and 50, something like that.
Yeah.
Oops, that's 500. There we go. Cost per level increase doesn't really matter because there's only 1 tier.
For now. But there'll be more different research attached.
So per level increase, per level cost increase, that only applies if you've got more than 1 level of the same research. So say, for example, I had some phaser research that could upgrade several times. The per level cost increase, after I'd clicked it once, if I clicked it again, the cost would increase incrementally based on the per level cost increase.
Say something, I'm giving...
I'm giving up on you. You're giving up on me? That's not good. You can see that max num research levels is there as well. So because we've only got 1, it means we can only research it once. Now this needs to move to tier 0, otherwise it'll get confused. And there we go. So that's it done as far as I'm concerned. Asteroids are now colonizable. There's a DLC ID down here, which we don't need to worry ourselves about. There's also something called priority. Now what priority does is it tells the AI you really want to research this, or you don't really need to be too bothered about this. We haven't played about with it a massive amount, so that is something that we're going to take a look at for this, just to ensure that the AI are working as well as they possibly can. Most things we put on priority 0. The things that we really want it to research are priority 1. Now it tends to like researching planet unlocks anyway, so I don't really mind putting this on priority 0. That's fine. Okay, so there we go. That's it in a nutshell, done. I, however, don't like my naming convention, so we're just going to have to capitalise space and the B for based. There we go, space-based.
Space-based, Chris.
Base.
They're based.
The buttery biscuit base.
Based.
So let's pop that into our AOTF folder. It's there now. Somewhere. Oh, no, that's not the one. Planet unlock, space-based. Now that we've got that there, my TV's telling me the power will be switched off in 5 minutes. Let's fix that.
Panic.
There you go, fixed. Let's copy this. FedRes planet unlock space-based. We need to ensure that the entity manifest recognizes that it exists. Let's go into the entity manifest.
Also known as the file that if you mess up, and it will definitely get your game to crash.
So we'll grab this, copy it, paste it above,
spin it all around, shake it all about.
In there. I can see that you've just put a Nausicaan frigate in over the past day or so.
Yes.
Right, we've got 1 more additional research, so we need to move the entity name count up to 2032. And we'll save. The
Mind you,
entity
people,
manifest.
this is not specific to research. Any entity you add, you need to add it to the count. So if you screw that count up, you're going to have to count every little number in that list.
You do. So now we've done that, the game recognizes it as existing. It is within the file, but the Federation doesn't know it needs to use it yet. So we need to go to player fed. Unfortunately, I didn't press P because I'm an idiot. They should be down here somewhere. Blah, 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 blah. Player UFP. There they are.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to that
Federation
myself.
of Planets. And here we go. There are the unlocks. I must have done those fairly recently.
I think you did them ages ago when you did the weapons as well.
It's plausible. It is plausible. So there we go. And we need space-based. And we need to move the research info count up to 53. There you go. That is now attached to the Federation itself. Let's just see if there have been any questions. Fed antimatter research is very expensive. Cole, try my last comment. How does that sound?
That sounds like Spiritus Sanctus.
Spiritus
Dominus
Sanctus.
Spiritus. Or as in Cellcath, they'd say, Slatherus.
Why is everybody trying to get me to say things today? What's happening? Better dead than fed. Agreed. Agreed, Overseer.
Suck my plasma exhaust.
My. So, guys, the Federation now knows how to use it, which is fine. But there is one final thing that we didn't do.
Keep saying final. I don't think you know what that word means.
It's because I've forgotten about it. We need to do the strings. So.
Not just that, but there's one final thing. You actually have forgotten something else.
Have I?
Yes.
I disagree.
We all know your opinion's wrong.
Let's grab that, save it, and we'll do the string. What do you think I've forgotten?
What do you think you've forgotten?
I don't believe that I've forgotten anything.
Sure.
It's not possible. Let's grab these two string infos.
I mean, it's got to unlock a planet, right?
Look, we're going to get round to that. I'm just putting the research in right now, so settle down.
Oh, you figured out what I was on about then?
Yeah.
Sure.
No. Desk. So we've got the name and the description there.
The description as well.
And that move up to 7. Always. I always put the description in, you know this. And I get angry with you when you don't put the description in. Because it means I've got to... Oh my god, the TV is still doing its thing. There we go. Excuse any terrible sounds that you've heard there.
Nothing was coming through.
So, what do we want to call it? Airtight arcology? Something like that?
Go nuts, mate.
What do you reckon, Guy? What should we call this? Now, this is for space-based domes on the outside of...
And no, research McResearch face will not do.
Have you got any jargon terms that you would like to... For girl, final means never-ending, hence TFF. Isn't it right?
TFF is another Chris's problem.
You know what? I'll just put something random in. Round ball thing.
Pneumotramo microscopic silico volcanololiosis.
I think I had that on my nuts recently.
No, that's just called chlamydia.
Oh. Is arcology the correct term?
Sounds like something I've seen in a Stellaris system.
An ideal integrated city contained within a massive vertical structure, allowing maximum conservation of the surrounding environment.
Hmm. So no.
So no, yeah. We'll just call it a dome.
Dome. No.
Now, are we the Federation at this point? I suppose we are.
Yeah. You know, yes and no. During the late game research, you are the UFP, but at the start of the game, you're technically just like Earth.
There we go. That'll do. In order to further the war effort, we've received a requisition of airtight domes for deployment on asteroids as outposts. That will do. Save. Happy with that?
Yeah.
The reason that I say requisition is because one thing I think that we've kind of settled on in both STA3 and AOTF is we're not necessarily researching the technology. The technology...
Well, I don't know, with ships in this era, I think we are, really.
Do you reckon so?
I mean, yeah.
I've always been of the opinion that because we're out there on the front lines, the research is happening in the background. That's all kind of going on without our consent, I suppose, or without our input. We're just requisitioning things that have been researched. We're on the front line. We haven't got these huge research facilities that allow us to research them directly.
I know AOTF always felt like you are, because you are it's more early era, so there's actually a bit more researching going on.
There we go. I'm sure we'll have an argument about that privately. But we might change the word requisition if Max wins the argument.
I mean, pressure domes is a different story. I mean, we already know that's been around, so.
The next thing that we need to look at here are the planets themselves, I feel. Would you agree? And the reason for that is because while we do have a lot of planets, we haven't necessarily gone through them all and assigned the correct terminology to them. You can see in this list, these are the available planet types for research. Got Terran, Asteroid, Barrett, there's Maxloef, Moon, Desert, Iron, Greenhouse, Uncolonizable, which naturally is uncolonizable, Ice, Oceanic, or Volcanic.
You know what's killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Will this be a mod by itself, asks Fran, or will we combine it with others again? No, this will be standalone.
This will not be combinable with others, it'll be its own thing.
Genuine question, says Jarrell. Are you basing this mod, like you said you were with Axanar, by making every ship valuable? Yes, absolutely. That's our intent with this. That's very much our intent.
To those who were following the Axanar mod, this is really kind of this is the Axanar mod, kind of. I mean,
in many ways, I would agree.
I mean, in the main things that we wanted to do for that mod are being done with this one, and we've actually, come up with some new things that might be beneficial to the project.
I think so. Yeah, I really do think that this is going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be fun to code. I think it's going to be even more fun to play. I think balancing is going to be interesting. I think, however, because there's possibly less of a death ball going on, balancing might just be easier as long as we get the right input from our testers.
Well, if we have such a talented group of testers as we do now,
I was going to say, given the testers that we have, I think we'll have a good time with it. Oh, more Aegis streams. Love what I saw in Bane's video last night. How much did I miss? You missed a fair amount, Hayden. In fact, do you know what? Since Hayden's now here, are you on an appropriately good screen for me to show people how it's going? because we've got Max up here, and he's currently updating one of the Federation ships. Is it Korolev? Do you say you're updating?
Yep.
Let's see how you're going at the moment. Now, what Max is doing is he is creating a little bit more detail for the models. The models weren't originally quite as detailed as they are now, but I think you made the decision because there's going to be less ships overall, and also less ships appearing on screen at any given time. We can get away with putting a little bit more detail into it. So what he's doing is he's creating mesh detail, whereas previously we used something called normal maps.
Well, we still do. We still got those, but there's some detail that I thought was superfluous to model in.
Yeah,
is now actually being modeled in.
Good stuff. Now, what
It was messing about a bit.
what normal maps are, guys? They artificially generate shadow. Think that's fair?
That's a good approximation of what it is. Yeah.
So if there's something that you want to make it look like it's raised or lowered, you can artificially generate shadow on it, and it gives you the impression that it is raised or lowered without actually having to include mesh detail. We use a lot of that in STA3. Because
still use a lot of it, like all these little hull lines will be
yes, of course.
done with that bit. So yeah, the weapons are just done, so the weapon ports.
Okay, good stuff.
What's next is I'm going to do... Oh boy.
Oh la la. C'est son.
Ah oui, oui, baguette. Don't worry, folks. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. How are you?
Less ships and less booms means a happy GPU. It's more CPU. Sins is pretty much exclusively CPU based. There's not a lot going on with your GPU. Unless you've got a really, really crap one, you'll never notice any performance drop as a result of it. Oh, Fran's a little bit sad. When you say the new series, what do you mean the new series? Are you talking about Discovery? We are not Discovery inspired. We do have a couple of ships that we've made our own versions of. From the, I suppose, kind of from the Discovery universe, but we're not Discovery inspired. No, we were more inspired by Axanar.
Because it's more like actual Trek.
Yeah, because it felt more like Trek to us. Very nice. Yeah, I think Viking said it quite well. It's based roughly during the same time period, or at least part of the mod is based during the same time period, but it's not related to Discovery itself because we don't necessarily agree with the aesthetic, and we also don't necessarily agree with the direction that they went in overall. Goal show off Max's crossfield. I can do that. In fact, I can probably spawn a couple of ships in that might be of interest, since we're already in game. Let's spawn it over here next to this next to the Jupiter. So Control Shift and full stop. If we go to, God, I can't remember how to do this anymore. Change galaxy, spawn entity, active player. Crossfield's a capital ship, isn't it, Max? Max? Max! He's disappeared.
Standing by.
Let's see if we got the right ship here. No.
Just tell me where to go. Begin a sensor scan.
That's not it either.
Just tell me where to go.
Okay, here we go. Here is our variant of the crossfield. So this is what you would, I suppose, call the Discovery, but we've made it, in our opinion, TOS. Well, not even TOS, ENT/TOS. There we go. So that's the Disco. She needs a little bit more detail on her as well. You can see that we haven't got the model in phases quite yet, and we haven't got the piping on her. There are other ships that already do have it. That one doesn't. This one does. Yeah, there you go. See, there's a little bit more detail going on with the areas. Max says his connection's bugging out, which is not ideal. Hopefully he'll get that sorted out in a moment or two. See, he's told me down here, connection is bugging out. So what I'll do is I'll leave the call, let Max come back. Hopefully he'll let me know when he's back. But yes, this is our variant of the Discovery. What races are we implementing? We have the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans. In the future, we'll put a fourth race in, but we don't want to talk about that quite yet. Hayden said, I should mention I've seen just 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. Because there were only 2 that they put on TV, and I refused to pay for more of what I saw. Fair. Entirely fair. There we go, Centurion's already said, actually. The Area is a beautiful ship. It really is. The NX era ship is a Ganges class. This is the Korolev, I think, that's being worked on at the moment. So we will see the improvements on that shortly, hopefully. And yes, we've decided to call this the Jupiter. There are some other interesting ships that we have taken, if you like, from the Disco universe. Let's see if we can find those. So let's go for Frigate, Federation, and the Cruiser, which is M. This is the Cardinals class, which is inspired by a Discovery ship, but we've TOS'd it again. Or I should say primed it, really, shouldn't I? The Neptune class is a different one. So there we go. That is the Cardinals class, because we really like the overall design, but of course it wasn't. It didn't fit with our aesthetic. So Max made this, which I think is absolutely magnificent. I think it's a really beautiful ship. We do have warp deltas. There's a Neptune.
Standing by.
And the warp delta, hopefully we've got one over here. NST. There we go. Right, back we go. Now there are a couple of other ships. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show this off, but I'm going to because Max isn't here. Let's go to Klingon. God knows what it actually is. Let's go back. I think it's going to be a cap ship. It must be. B capital ship. C Klingon. Command?
On the loose.
Nope.
Bringing out the big guns.
Nope.
On the loose.
Nope.
We shall rule again.
Nope.
Nanite command protocols are now synchronized.
Here we are. So this is a Prime Universe version of what I suppose you would call the original kind of naughty man in Discovery, which we think is quite nice. He's kept the elongated nacelles, but we've made it look a little bit more traditional Klingon, and I think it's worked out quite nicely. It's got quite a Fassa-esque round dome body. Sorry, cylindrical body, not dome. And of course, the D6 here. K3 Ravager. Which is kind of an earlier take on the Ravenous, almost. K5, which a lot of people think is very, very similar to a Negvar, and I can see why they might think so given the wing shape. The D4F, which is a command ship. Very interesting. I think this is another facet design. Anyhow, let's get away from those. Ah, Max is back. Okay, let's take the call. Hello.
Took you long enough.
I'm sorry, buddy.
That on purpose, didn't you?
No? I don't know what you mean.
And my connection dropped out for some reason.
Sometimes these things happen, don't they? It might look like I've shown a load of Klingon ships off, but I absolutely haven't.
I saw that.
Damn!
Why would you do that?
Well, you know. Right, so what were we doing? We were looking at the planets, weren't we? I'm sorry.
No, you were looking at Klingon ships.
I was doing that, but, you know. I was also looking at planets. Because we are supposed to be coding, aren't we?
Alright, Bane, I mean, go.
So these are the planets we've got. Now, it's worth us working out what we want to do with each planet type. So, it's reasonable for us to group certain planets into our asteroid variant. So, I presume Class D asteroid, Class D crystal, and Class D moon. They all want to be the asteroid type.
Check the sheet.
Oh, what's the Class D rich asteroid? I haven't got one of those.
That one's the crystal.
Okay, so just moon and asteroid. You'd like those to be space-based?
Yep.
Okay.
And the fragile is an off branch of space-based.
Damn you. I hate everything you're making me do. Okay, so let's go for the Class D asteroid. We'll open that
last
up.
night. No, wait, that was Bane.
Also the Class D moon. Let's take a look at what planet it thinks it is. I think that's towards the bottom, isn't it?
Yes, it is. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm never going to find this now. Planet type for research, it thinks it's moon at the moment. That's not what we want. We want it to be asteroid.
Asteroid.
I spelled that correctly? Yes, I have. So, boop. And we'll do the same with this one. Also thinks it's a moon. No, thank you. There we go. So they are both now unlocked by the space-based research. Because the space-based research, it calls upon asteroid. Fantastic. Nice and easy, wasn't it?
But wait. There's more.
What do you want now?
Order now and you get a free slap chop.
Right, it looks like there's no other space-based that we want there. That's fine. Do you know, one thing that I might do on this list here is go... so I can remember what I'm doing. I think that's reasonable for me to do, isn't it?
I'm not looking at your screen at the moment. I am
How
looking at little
dare
boxes
you.
on the... I'm looking at little boxes at the edge of a saucer. It's quite as equal exciting as what you're doing.
Fran says, what about adding to the Klingon faction some ships, for example, Nausicaan or Orion ships? Now, we do have those in the mod, both Nausicaan and Orion ships. I don't think they're going to be associated with the Klingons at this point.
No, in the timeline they weren't. So
but you will see them in the mod.
In the canon timeline, they aren't like buddies with the Nausicaans or the. If anything, the Klingons would probably see the Orion pirates as dishonorable.
More than likely. I think they might get on quite well with Nausicaans. I think there's kind of a similar aggressive nature to them, isn't there?
They have Garumba.
Garumba.
Which is probably the same thing that creature had as well. Probably like that little weird creature we shared.
Hayden Blazner asks, by the way, girl, would it be possible to add the Mirror Sovereign to the Federation capital ship roster in STA3?
It would be very much possible, but we're not going to do it.
It is possible. It's not something that we'll do. But somebody may want to give us a mod that does that, and we'll host it.
No, we won't. I don't want to host that. It's just...
I've got no problem with hosting any mods that people have done to the mod. Doesn't necessarily mean that we we endorse it massively. It just puts them all in a single place for people to take what they want. Spoilers, it's the pirates! I don't know if the Norskins are actually the pirates. The Orions are.
Noskins are not pirates at the moment, they're just a neutral faction.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we won't be adding is we won't be adding support for the feature that was added in the latest expansion. What are they called again? Outlaw sectors. Because they add they have very limited functionality when it comes to what we can customize with them.
Mm.
So the downside is we'd only be able to set them to one generic race that would spawn. So we wouldn't be able to customize that for each planet type, which would be weird.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so we want to do fragile now.
Did I miss any questions, by the way, while I was away?
You may have done. I mean, of course, feel free to scroll back. And if anybody hasn't had a question answered, ask it again, and we'll try and have a go. Gull loves outlaw sectors. Oh, outlaw sectors are bollocks. Fragile.
You feel a bit fragile.
Always, my friend. Okay,
Now,
so
to donate a cuddle to Chris, transfer £1,000 to the account of
do it.
Max _
So let's have this as 1-1 because you want it as an offshoot of a previous research subject. So pos 1-1. Number of research prerequisites 1 because we need a research prerequisite, which is the last one that we did. God, I can't remember how to do this.
Might want to leave some space in between for a improvement one, so that there's an improvement research for the space-based.
I can do that. We'll put it at 2-1 then, and that needs to change to tier 2. Now, in order to remind me of the research prerequisites, I think it's best that I take a look.
Best would just be to copy a previous prerequisite.
Yeah. So if I look at the Neptune research, that doesn't have any research prerequisites. God damn.
The
Poseidon
annex.
refit. Why not?
Yeah.
There you go. I was halfway there.
You're living on a prayer?
So let's just grab that research prerequisite there. Paste it in here. There we go. And the research prerequisite that we need is fed_res
Dead.
_ planets unlock _ did I call it asteroid?
Asteroid.
Gold.
When you say asteroid, I always have to
Space-based.
think of that very generic voice from the X series games. Asteroid.
Asteroid. So there we go. That unlocks the fragile research type. But it can't be a linked planet type asteroid. So what is fragile going to be? Let's take a look and see. I think Moon is probably best for fragile. Are you happy with that?
Yep. Very much so.
There we go. So we now know that Moon from the base files is associated with fragile. Let's get that done. Moon. Done. Great. Now, does this want to be more expensive or cheaper?
More expensive, it's more specialized research.
Okay, so let's go for 400. And we'll go for perhaps 75 metal. I think I'd like to leave it at 50 crystal because crystal is, of course, something that appears less often. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, but the economy is nowhere near finalized anyway, so.
No, it's not. And it's probably something that will change. So we've now made that piece of research and we've associated it with the correct planet type. While we're here, we need to look at the planet itself. So if we press P to go to planet, class D crystal. Planet. Scroll it down to the bottom, or towards the bottom, and find the planet type it thinks it is for research. Planet type for research is currently iron. That needs to change to moon. Done. Okay. Now all we need to do is...
Have ourselves a pint, go to McLaren's and wait for all of this to blow up.
We'll copy this. We will paste it into the correct area. Boop, it's in there. We will then come entirely out of the thing that we need to be in. Go to the entity manifest. Copy this. Move the entity name count up to that. And change this little segment to fragile. It's in the entity manifest. We've got no problems there, which is fantastic. Let's make sure the Federation knows how to make use of this. Are you keeping an eye on the chat?
I'm not. I'm actually modelling.
Uh-oh. Hey Hobbs, how you doing?
Is Hobbs listening in? Oh my
Reds on CFF don't start undergunned. No, I agree that they don't. Overseer says on AOTF he expects the Federation to have to play defensively at first. Very defensively, probably. Yes, that is something that we are expecting to do. The Federation is going to start out undergunned compared to the Klingons, particularly the Klingons. Perhaps a little less so the Romulans. We're not 100% sure on the Romulans yet. But one of the ways that I wanted to combat that in order to ensure that they did still have a fighting chance is I'm expecting, as a quirk of the research, I expect the number of Federation ships that you can get early on is going to be greater than the Klingons can get early on, just as an example. They'll equal out at the end, so once you've both got your tier 8 research, they'll be able to field equal amounts of ships. But to start with, the Klingons will be able to field less ships, but they'll have better ships. And somewhere around mid-game, they'll kind of equal out in both ways. So they'll be able to field similar numbers of ships, and they'll be of an equal technology. That's the intent.
But we might come up with some other crazy idea. We don't know yet.
It is entirely plausible, isn't it? So we need to go to player UFP, which is here.
Yeah. Now watch 10,000 battle droids.
Let's pop that in there. Go to 54.
Oh.
This is fragile. Save it so that.
Then handle it with care.
Indeed so. And last but not least, certainly not least, we need to input the string. The string! Let's just... Uh-oh. It appears that my thingamajiggy has changed to American, so I was just trying to place...
Americana.
Americana. Let's change that. Boop. United Kingdom, please. Otherwise it won't match up with my keyboard at all. Fragile. And fragile. Good stuff. This is going to be... Because it's... I suppose it's geared towards extracting dilithium, isn't it?
Well, yeah, more like planets which are more unstable due to the high mineral concentration.
So
there we go. That's the saucer rim.
we're going to call it structural integrity advancement.
Look at that. That's the saucer rim done.
We should probably call it planetary, so people know what it is.
Planetary. Planetarium.
Planetary structural integrity advancement. That'll do. What's the word? Unstable. There we go, that should do. In order to ensure that we're maximising the resources available to us, we've developed advanced structural integrity fields that will allow us to exploit the more geologically unstable environments with minimum risk to our citizens. That will do for the time being. It may get changed in the future, particularly when Christian gets his hands on it.
Indeed-a-roni.
Let's save that. Okay, so the strings are done. The Federation knows what it is. It is in the correct file. The planet is correct.
But we're still going to crash the game. I mean...
It's not going to show up yet, though, is it? So let's exit the game and come back in. Make sure that I've done it right. Is it possible to give a ship resources per tick? So a mining ship of some sort to feed the economy? Yeah, that is entirely possible.
Is it?
Yeah, we can do it. We do it as a passive ability on the ship.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to do that because I don't expect that we are, but it is possible, and I think that's the thing to take away from that. When do you guys think about an alpha release? Oof.
When we are ready for an alpha release.
Yeah, I think we're so early on right now that we can't give it a date. We wish we could. We wish it could be done next week for you, but
I don't.
It's going to be a little while. It is going to be a little while, and I don't think we want to sugarcoat that at all. Oh no, not random. Hang on. Well, when we do come to the point where we want testers who are outside our current core of testers, we'll let everybody know, and we'll give them the opportunity to apply.
To be fair though, yes, we'll be giving our original tester team
yeah, they're going to take priority, of course.
Preference.
Oscar Bernard says, which is of course Overseer, says game crashes on launch. No! I don't want it to.
But it might. It's us, you never know.
Fran's trying to grab info about the Romulans, let's just see.
Well, we've got a ship called the Pleasure Bird.
Oh.
At least that's how we nicknamed it.
Oh yes, one thing. Confederation players get 150k HP and shields Keldon, captained by the greatest leader to ever grace Cardassia, Garrick. Again, you could mod it in.
Garrick, great leader.
Could even give him a
Get
little
out
hat.
of here. Get out of here.
I do like Garrick though. It's hard not to like, isn't it?
It's just a simple tailor, that's all he is.
He's just a simple tailor.
Plain old simple Garrick.
Oh, there we go. We've started.
Well, that's another part of the model done for me.
Oh, I love these freighters. Here's something for the list. The maximum zoom distance on the construction ships I feel could be a bit closer. You happy for me to change that?
Good luck. Tried that. Couldn't get it closer than that. It's weird because the same model is used by the Starbase constructor, sorry, by the trade ship, and it does work fine on that. Weird.
Let's just take a look. See what's going on with it. What have you called them?
Check the player file, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm also working on very tedious detail right now.
How
so
dare you?
I just dare.
Just unacceptable. Let's just seek out zoom.
Swift loop.
Min zoom distance mult is... Oh my. Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Minimum zoom distance is nothing, is it? Is that even possible? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Can't get closer.
Tried it.
That is bloody bizarre, isn't it?
Yes.
Maybe they just don't care about construction ships enough to give us a proper zoom multiplier.
Again, Blair, if you're watching,
You can get so close to everything else. Bah! Bah! Blast them. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was checking the research. There we go. Oh, we're going to need to change the what's its face.
yes.
In fact, do you remember how we did that last time?
Yes. If you could give me a little bit more detail about what you're on about.
The little research, the little info window that's on the right hand side. I changed that, didn't I? So it was at the bottom right hand side of the screen rather than just simply sticking out the middle of the right. Oh, but I can't remember how I changed it.
I don't know what you're on about, mate.
You know where you hover over something? The hover over window.
Yeah,
You've never played Sins, have you?
Sorry?
You've never played Sins, have you?
The little hover over window, but there's a bunch of them. But which one?
Where you hover over and then it gives you the description on the right hand side.
On what? Research?
Yeah, on research or just hovering over ships.
It's the info card, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
I need to change the location of that, which I will do at some point when I remember how to do it.
I don't even remember how to do that one.
There's a way. I'm sure there's a way. Right, so that piece of research is in
right.
as well. So I'm happy with that. How do you remember all this? I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Habit. Pure habit, Richard. I think...
Also, we forget very important things.
We do. It's true. Like, I think I used to know a lot more than I know now, and I'm only now starting to get back into it again. I've been quite nervous about doing any coding for a while because it's been such a long time since I've done any, but I wanted to get back into it because I want to help with this mod. So we're getting there. I think I'm relearning a lot of stuff. Will you have, again, hero ships with original voice lines? Yes and no.
Already do.
Yes and no is the answer to that. We'll open the game again and we'll take a look at the ships that you start with. We're not going to have hero ships in the same way. They're not going to have such a great effect on the battlefield. The heroes that we have in STA3, you are kind of forced to have said heroes. I think that's fair to say, isn't it? Whereas, if you are playing in AOTF, you will see heroes, but their ships aren't going to be any more effective than the ships that you
Also,
would normally be able to construct.
somebody's trying to coin a catchphrase, which I've luckily set out of my head, and we're not going to use it.
Because every ship can be a hero of the moment, can't they, Bane?
I'd like to scoop up my eyeballs at the moment.
Richard Ball says, I wish the Battlestar Galactica mod was as good as STA3. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but you guys could make it better. Well, honestly, I love the BSG mod. It's one of Zombie Russ's works, and I think a lot of the reason that I like it so much is because I adore Zombie. He's done so much for the Sins modding community. If he ever wanted us to do things for him, I'm sure we'd be willing to do so, wouldn't we, Max?
Oh no, I wouldn't touch his project because
No?
that's his baby.
Well, you know what I mean. If he said, Max, can you help me out with something? You'd
Sure,
jump
sure,
on it, wouldn't you?
I'd jump on it to help him out, but I mean, I wouldn't want to say that we could do better. It's his.
I don't think we could. I think I certainly think his code is as strong as ours. He's not a modeler by trade, so perhaps our models might be of slightly better quality than those he's able to field. But that's because he's not a dedicated modeler, and we've got them. We've got bloody amazing modelers. We're very, very fortunate in that regard. Now, scattered around the system when you start are several ships. You get a couple of smaller ships. You get a Neptune, a Jupiter, a couple of Jupiters as a little starting fleet, and with them you get this fellow right here, the Enterprise NX-01. Now if we click on it,
Destination set. Engage
a little bit too quiet. Let's just go sound. Turn the dialogue volume way up.
Enterprise on station.
So there we go.
Destination set. Engage engines.
You got
And then we
Archer
go,
himself.
It's been a long road.
Alter course.
So yes, you do get a hero in the form of Archer right at the start when you start up. Archer is already there, he's waiting to take your commands.
Enterprise
But his
complete.
ship isn't any more powerful than a normal NX class. He is just standard. It's a specially named ship, and that's it.
Plain old
That's
simple
the only
Archer.
difference. It's got his voice and his name. Now, you're probably going to waste him pretty early on.
Phase jump.
He's probably going to die, and you're probably going to be totally unaware that he is dead. But that's just the nature of the heroes that we're going to use in here.
Take us into
It's
war.
a nod, a little hats off to the people who we have seen in Star Trek in the past. But it does not mean that they're special.
Indeed, Aroni.
I have a funny question. Will you guys maybe create a Star Citizen mod? Bloody hell.
Yeah, no.
I think that's very unlikely. I think if you're talking about making particular ships for Star Citizen, as has been postulated, a Star Citizen mod for Sins? No, we won't. I don't think we know enough about Star Citizen. What are we fighting? Ooh, Ferengi! Couple of Git class frigates.
Gint.
Ready
Get-
and able.
That's Gint.
Git.
Fire when ready.
And the ship's named after the first Grand Nagus.
Liking this music. I think you put this in recently, didn't you, Max?
Yes. And that's a Gint, which is a very nice model made by Hyundai Nephilim. At Gunther, yes, there was Indian the mod. And yes, Oscar the
Oh, that Gint's about to buy it.
here you have it using attack pattern Omega.
Boom, baby!
Boom, shake, shake, shake.
Just tell me where to go.
Right, what we will do is we'll go Control Shift. We'll change Galaxy and we'll set up Quick Play, which should unlock some research.
No, don't do that, it'll break the game.
I know. But look, you will see here, I'm only doing it briefly, that the colour of the Federation weapons has now changed to Andorian phases. It's an unlock that you can get. And the sound also changes with it.
Also, if you check out the NX at this point, it should have refitted as well.
I don't think this one will, because it's a special.
No, it's set up to.
Oh, mind you, if you just set up Quick Play, it doesn't do that, does it?
I don't know, but I do know that the
If you unlock the research in the traditional way, yes, it would. One thing I might need to do is I might need to build a load of research stations in order for it to do so. So let's find the military outposts.
Structure complete. Structure complete.
and yes, Gunther, you are correct. In a mirror darkly, actually, not through a mirror darkly.
No, it hasn't done it. But what we might be able to do is we might be able to build an NX.
Or spawn one.
All
It's
sections
destroyer
report.
board.
Oh no, it doesn't seem to have upgraded for us.
Well, it's because the way it's
Yeah, it's because of the way I've done the research. It just unlocks all the research immediately. Whereas if we were doing it in the traditional way, you would now... First you get the Columbia upgrade, which changes the hull colour slightly.
and the deflector dish.
And the deflector dish. And then you would get the one that was designed that had an engineering section.
The refit.
Hmm. Go get on the iconography. Nah, that's Killer BC's job.
Oh, don't do that, you little kid.
Change galaxy. Let's just go for all entities detected, shall we? If I can remember how. Change galaxy, overrides, all entities detected. Boom. Okay, we can see everything now. Let's just take a look and see what there is. Got some Suliban over here. One stealth cruiser. The long sail ship, and I think there's the baby sail ships as well, aren't there?
Yeah, the regular ones and the small ones.
Tiny little sail ship. Got some Suliban over here as one of the races. Now,
Willy.
over here we've got some Tholians. Got a web spinner over here. There it is. Magnificent. Really nice Tholian design. Did you do that one yourself, Max?
Yes, that's one I built myself. They're based on the canon design.
I really like it. Really like it. What have we
Soon
got
we'll
over
have
here?
some more interesting neutrals also to add, which were only seen in very distinct episodes.
Now, you asked about the Zindi, so zooming in. There we are. The game is lagging to hell now because the other race has probably built like 1 million research stations, given that I've done quick play. Okay, so we've got an insectoid attack vessel. Very nice. We have the huge aquatic battleship.
Actually got a few more Zindi to add.
Oh, fantastic. Let's see what else we got.
Aquatic frigate, which I haven't added yet, and the insectoid fighters.
Our primate corvette. Primate warship. Primate warship I've always really liked. I think it's a beautiful design.
Yeah, it was piloted by Degra, the primate corvette. But I always felt that the design was made by insectoids.
Yeah, it does feel that way a little, doesn't it? Insectoid we've already looked at. I'm just trying to find a reptilian. Oh, there's an arboreal, which is very, very similar to the Tellarite vessel.
It's the same model, but there were changes to the model.
Arboreal. Reptilian! And we've got a reptilian ship over here. So there you go. There's some Zindi for you.
I think this is the only mod or Trek game ever that has the complete collection of all canon Zindi vessels.
Yeah, I think you're right. So that's what we've got right now. There's a load more to go in.
But there's already more than that.
Now, sadly, I think the pirates that are currently in,
Yeah, stock.
they are stock. But of course, it's not going to be like that forever. We have Orions as pirates.
Oh, texture's not loaded on that one.
Yeah, sometimes they don't. When you're zooming around like crazy, textures take a while. But there we go. That's what we got right now, guys. And I think now's a good time to end the stream. We've been going for a couple of hours now. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen, guys. And if you want to know more, make sure that you take a look at... here we go. Star Trek Armada 3. That's Armada 3. Don't look at that. Well, do, but... there you go. Make sure you take a look at Ages of the Federation on ModDP. If you guys would want the link, I'll just stick it in here. There we go.
And subscribe to Gul Gaming and to the mod.
Indeed. It's Gul Survives now.
Same thing.
But guys, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. I do plan to do another code stream next week. Don't know what it'll be. Typically, I'll try and do it the day after Bane does it, just to make sure that he's been able to push any changes that he wants to do prior to me. But I'll see you soon, guys, and thanks so much for joining me, Max. It's been great.
You.
Goodbye.